I, 26 female, have a preteen daughter. My ex, 28 male, wasn't involved in her life by his own choosing. Back in December, he reached out. It took some time, talking, and a little therapy. He's been back in our daughter's life for about 4 months now. We're working with the courts to establish paternity and for him to get custody. In the meantime, I've let him visit her at my place. He's taken her on day trips. Since getting a bigger apartment, he's had her spend the night. He was supposed to visit her Wednesday, have dinner with us, and watch a movie. Per the therapist's recommendation, we try to do things the three of us can do so she can see us get along. My ex said he'd be over at around 6. He didn't show up. By 6:30, my daughter was hungry, so I fed her. I tried to put off the movie but eventually let her watch it. She was disappointed about her dad not showing up. I put her to bed at 9. 11:30, my ex calls, freaking out. He said he forgot we were supposed to have dinner. He only remembered because his girlfriend came home from work and asked how everything went. Rather than apologizing, he got mad at me and asked why I didn't call him. I said I'm not going to chase him down. I had already spent 9 months doing that when I was pregnant, begging him to be in her life. I'm not going to do that now. It's up to him to make an effort and remember this stuff. We had therapy the next day, and she was on my side. However, my ex insists that I should have called. I'm frustrated that he hasn't tried to apologize to our daughter. My mom said that I should have called. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. He's just mad his girlfriend saw him for the deadbeat father that he is. Ignore your mom. Listen to your therapist. Yep, because you know the girlfriend is the only reason he's doing this anyway. This is the classic case of an ex's new partner starting to ask why they don't have contact with their kid. Those people are not trying to establish contact for the child or their own sake. It's just to hide their true selves from the new partner. Also, OP's mom's wearing her internalized misogyny loud and proud. My dad did this too. It's such a classic. The handful of times I saw him, it was always with a new girlfriend who had kids, and I'd end up always being a babysitter. When he finally met his future wife, he tried to convince me that my mom was a witch and that I could move in with them and be a happy family. The kicker is he also sent a mass email to all of his contacts the same day, saying that he was so happy he was done paying the state for child support, that he wished he had made different choices in life, and that he was excited to start the next chapter of his life. I was his only child. I stopped talking to him after that. OP, it's not your responsibility to keep your ex on schedule. As a 28-year-old adult, he should take responsibility for himself and his time. Truth. He knows his girlfriend now realizes that she's banging a guy who at 28 years old, a deadbeat loser, and thinking, do I want this? Plus, ex does want to keep the girlfriend, so he's freaking out. OP, I want your kiddo to have great parental support, and I get that you want that too. And so you're helping her stupid parent try to be adequate. But I think I would take this as at least strike 1 of 3. And if he can't work out how to take responsibility, it strikes 2 as well. Having a second parent, but having that parent be a detrimental presence, is not a net win, you know. One thought, maybe set up a shared calendar so that when you have activities that are planned, it can go on the shared calendar. Look, it's not OP's or anyone else's job to remind him that he needs to have dinner with his kid. In this day and age, people can put reminders on their phones for that. At the end of the day, OP has been a single mom, figuring it out for so many years. She shouldn't have to update a calendar for him. Tell him to start keeping his own calendar. It's still a fine option to help out, but honestly, it's up to OP to decide how much she wants to put up with it. So my husband works crazy hours. He's gone 6 days a week, basically all day. I'm a stay-at-home mom, going to school online and doing freelance work from home. I get 0 breaks. And on his 1 day off each week, he wants to do stuff as a family. So I still don't get a break. Anyway, his work schedule changed. So he's going in an hour later, but has to stay an hour later. I thought it was great, so we could spend some time with our child in the morning, and maybe I could get an uninterrupted shower. Well, on the first day of the new schedule, I woke up and he was already gone. So I called him and he was at the gym. And I explained it would be nice if he had let me know he'd be going instead of just assuming. Also, we have weights in a whole gym area in our basement, my gift to him. And so I genuinely don't see why he has to go to the gym, and didn't even know he had a membership until now. Then he explained that he was going to use his extra time in the morning now to go to the gym before work. So instead of me getting any break, my days are now 2 hours longer because he gets up at 6 to go to the gym, then gets home at 9 p.m. I also expressed that I think it's highly unfair that I cannot do things for my self-care without a babysitter that I end up paying for. And that's if you consider going to the dentist and doctor to be self-care. Anyway, am I the idiot for not being okay with this and standing my ground? He said he's still going to go and that he can't do all the workouts he needs to from our basement. Not the idiot. So you have a full-time job with no days off, being a stay-at-home mom 6 days a week as a single parent in practice, plus a part-time paid job from home, plus school. Have you considered adding up the hours you do and showing your husband? Leaving him at home to do your job for a few weeks. Seriously, go away and leave him to do it. Pointing out medical appointments come before the gym. Going to add 2 hours a day, 5 days a week at the gym is excessive and unnecessary, especially when you take it out of someone's time and well-being. I think that your hubby is avoiding home and the children. And we have a winner. This guy just doesn't want to be a dad at all. So he has a family he's not actually interested in. Please tell him he will have to work more hours and forget about the gym, as he'll need more money for child support payments. Agree. Honey, you're drowning. You need to clarify to him that this deeply affects your happiness and mental and physical health. Tell him the marriage cannot survive if you're drowning this much, and that you love him, but this is putting a strain on your marriage. Additionally, from a divorced gal who went through the same, just so you know, you get way more breaks when you're divorced. It's great. Kid-free weekends to do whatever you want are so relaxing. So definitely evaluate whether this stress is really worth it. If I was choosing a marriage like that versus divorce, I could tell you from the other side, definitely divorce. That marriage sounds exhausting. I, 20 male, am currently a mechanical engineering student. The sophomore year has been tough, so I needed healthy outlets of stress to get back in the game, and gaming has helped my mental health. So I'm looking forward to a relaxing and stress-free summer, gaming with the boys. I've also been dating Lily, 20 female for 2 years. Recently, she's been developing an interest in gaming, and she knows I've been gaming with the same group of guys since high school, so she asked if she could join. I told her no, unequivocally, for 3 reasons. As I mentioned, gaming has been a great escape mechanism, and I like to compartmentalize my life. Gaming allows me to be a better boyfriend and express parts of myself that I wouldn't be able to. So I'm not really comfortable mixing the 2 parts of my life. I prefer to keep my escape place intact. She's at a different skill level than the other guys, so games would get imbalanced. Also, I have a close friendship with the other guys, so we tend to rib each other and make guy jokes. I don't want her to become one of the guys and make our relationship be like we're bros or stand out as the odd one. Either way, just a bad mix. I told her these 3 reasons, and she didn't take it well. She accused me of being controlling, which I didn't know what to say because this is my group of friends and a section of my life she's trying to invade and colonize. Controlling would be me saying, no, you can't play Call of Duty at all. I'm not controlling her at all. If anything, she's trying to control me. But after explaining that, we got into a huge fight. I'm just sitting here wishing I didn't open my big mouth and just say that we meet at times when she's at work. Edit. I'm a rage gamer. I tend to throw down my controller when I lose a match, punch my hands, or scream a bit. But in my personal life, I'm calm. I also trash talk a ton and receive a lot of trash talk, especially given that this is my group of friends, and there's nothing wrong with how we decompress. The girlfriend obviously has to be feminine and can't possibly throw a controller or take part in trash talking. You are the idiot. It sounds like you're unwilling to let her join because you're afraid that you can't maintain whatever facade you've created to get your girlfriend. Guy talk is fine, but not if you're saying hateful or bigoted stuff. Part of a mature relationship is integrating them with your friends and family. If you're so different around your girlfriend and these guys, that's an issue on your end. Are you pretending to be something you're not? Are you just holding off on showing the real you until you think she's locked down? I basically read this as, gaming with my buddies allows me to rage, be toxic, and probably throw slurs around that I know are unacceptable. He knows exactly what he's doing is crappy, so he makes up some BS about how it allows him to be a better boyfriend. That kind of implies that if he wasn't throwing crap around at randoms online, he would be throwing crap at his girlfriend. Real classy, OP. Ooh boy, he's just trying to hide his true personality. Nothing else. It's not that he needs to decompress with his bros. It's how he acts that he doesn't want his girlfriend to see. He knows she'll dump him. Also, be honest. Your guy jokes are about your girlfriends and other girls. I, 30 male, recently inherited the house we grew up in after our parents passed away. My sister, 27, and I were very close, but she was very distant and largely estranged from our parents. The parents' house holds a lot of sentimental value for us. However, the house is in a different state, and it's not practical for me to move there or maintain it as a second home. I've been dealing with all the legal and financial aspects since I was named the executor of the estate. It's been a stressful time, and the expenses related to the house, property taxes, insurance, maintenance, have been a significant burden. I decided to sell the house, use the money to pay off some of my student loans, and invest the rest. However, when I told my sister about the sale, she was livid. She said that she had plans to buy the house from the estate and keep it in our family. She's accused me of being selfish and not considering her feelings, but she never mentioned her plans to me, and I can't afford to wait indefinitely for her to be ready to buy the house. I've offered to split the profits from the sale with her, but she's not interested and is barely speaking to me. I feel terrible about the situation, but I don't feel like I've done anything wrong. Am I the idiot? You are the idiot. Would it have killed you to text her, "Hey, thinking of selling the house. Want to go first?" Also, why are you the only one to inherit from your parents? Did she get something else? Or did you decide to sell something that belonged to the both of you? Yeah, something's off. So your sister's relationship with your parents was strained, but you considered your relationship with your sister to be close? Yet you never mentioned your plans to sell the house you inherited. And you're mad because she never mentioned her plans to me. Dude, what? I was wondering that too. Giving one child the house seems unfair. An OP new childhood home would be sentimental to her. Giving her a heads up before you put the house on the market was a common courtesy between the family, a very obvious one. Even if you knew she didn't have the means or desire to buy the house, you should have told her in case she wanted to visit the place she grew up in one last time. Exactly. Selling a house is an enormous task. It wasn't like something you just woke up one day and did. You planned the sale and had time to give her the first chance at it. It seems like you purposely avoided telling her. I strongly suspect that you are not the sole inheritor of this property and are offering her the half she rightly owns. Still, she had planned to buy you out and is upset that you sold it. I suspect she will go legal on this one. My wife and I have been married for about 10 years. Over that time, we've been to over a dozen weddings of our respective friends and family. The invitations have always been addressed to both of us as a married couple. I've often gone to her friends' weddings where I only know one or two people, and she's been in the same situation with my friends' weddings. We've always made new acquaintances and had great times. Last month, she received a wedding invitation from an old high school friend. The problem is that it was only addressed to her and didn't mention me or a plus one. This friend knows we're married, as they attended our wedding. We thought this was an oversight, so she called her friends and was told they had a huge list of people and had to cut it down, and I didn't make the cut. I've never heard of one married partner being invited to a wedding without the other. I asked my large group of friends and family, and no one's ever heard of such a thing. The other part that makes me uncomfortable is that the wedding is in her home state, so she'll have to fly back there alone. Lastly, 3 of her exes will attend because they used to be part of the same friends group, 1 from high school and 2 from college. I know I'm sounding very possessive, but I promise I'm not. My wife sometimes goes out with her girlfriends and has even gone on a couple of girls-only vacations, and I've never had a problem before. However, I just find this entire situation to be weird. Last night, as she was looking for her airline ticket, I told her that I was uncomfortable with her going without me. She said I wouldn't have any fun, as I won't know anyone there, and that she'll be busy catching up with old friends. Then I suggested I return to that state and go fishing with her father, as he and I usually take a fishing trip together once a year. She shut that idea down immediately and said I should stay home and relax. I don't know if it was because I was already uneasy with the trip, but it felt like she didn't want me anywhere near the state. After some back and forth, I told her I was very uncomfortable with the entire thing, and that started a heated discussion where I ended it by telling her she shouldn't go, and that if she did, this would cause a deep rift between us. I've never said those words before, so I'm unsure if I'm an idiot. So you don't want her to go to a wedding and see her friends because she dated some people there more than a decade ago? You don't even want her to be in a different state without you in the vicinity, but you're not being possessive. You are the idiot. But OP promised he's not being possessive, though. Sometimes she sees her friends, and even a girls' trip a couple of times in 10 years of marriage. She sees her friends because he lets her. What a great guy. My eyes did roll out of my head. You've been married for 10 years and are worried about her college and high school exes? Sounds like you don't trust your wife. Your wife is an adult and can do things without you. She can travel without you. She doesn't need to revolve her life around your insecurities. Your trust issues will cause a deep rift between you, and I recommend you deal with them before you push your wife away. I disagree. The red flag in this scenario is her absolute reluctance to you going with her at all. Stay home and relax instead of fishing with her dad. Why? Why did she shut that down so quickly when it's an activity you do with her dad annually? How long will she be gone? Why is she so insistent you don't go at all? If the friend getting married attended your wedding and you have an existing friendship with them, why is the spouse being cut from the invite list? Yes, some of your actions and comments make you seem possessive, but after 10 years of marriage, her behavior is a bit suspect. This wedding also cost you and your wife money, plane ticket, lodging, unless she's staying with her family, likely dinners out. I'm assuming shared finances here, of course. If my husband were to be solo invited to a wedding, he would RSVP a hard no. You are not the idiot.